Self Love Sunday. I am Moe Sass, your host of Self Love Sundays with Sass. I am your certified vision and empowerment and extreme execution coach who comes every single Sunday so we can talk about all the ways in which we can better our best. And I always start this way. Have you received your copy of or purchased your copy of my new book, Find Your Way, 7 Ways to Love and Heal Yourself? I will put the links at the bottom of this video. I'm just super excited for what it has done for people, and just hearing the stories and the transformation and the revelations that have come as a result of people having the book. It's just amazing, and I can't thank you all enough for your support. So for those of you who are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you stick around and enjoy my content. And for those of you who've been rocking with me for a while, thank you for always supporting me and coming back. And I want to get into it because I have been doing so much this week. And for those of you who've been around, you know that I am one of the hosts for Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip hop preacher, the number one motivational speaker in the world. I am one of the hosts of his accountability call for ETU, which is Eric Thomas University. And it's such a blessing to be in his organization and to be a part of someone who honestly helped transform my life. And now I get to work with people who work with him to transform their lives by holding them accountable to their goals. Because for those of you who do not know, the reason why you're not successful is because you don't have any accountability for your life and the goals that you say that you want to achieve. I said what I said. Fight me later. Okay. Fight me in the comments, but it's the truth. Because once we start to take accountability for our life, there's nothing or no one that can stop us from achieving the things that we say we want when we go after them with a vengeance. And we have the right environment and the right people around us, there's no stopping you. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the fact that I attended his UOU summit. And because this is the thing, when you put yourself around in the right environment, around people who like, that's what they do, they win, it causes you to win. But I'm also get to be a part of, the things that he does for the community as well as other people. So being a part of his UOU summit for Q2 was amazing. So I said, I'm going to come and give you the takeaways. Why not? As I learn, you learn, we learn. Guess what's going to happen? We all begin to better our best. But here's the promise you have to make me. Please don't come here and just consume my content. After you hear something that sets something off for you, I want you to go take action. That's another way we become successful. It's not by just consuming content. It's when you hear that thing that said, okay, that's what I need to go do it right then and there. Stop the video, stop whatever you're watching and get into action. Don't be the person who just is a consumer of information, but do nothing with it. Okay. So let's talk about some of the key takeaways. And I'm actually, because there was so many nuggets, you guys, I'm going to finish out probably the rest of June just on giving the nuggets. So let's get some key takeaways from the UOU summit that was put on by my mentor, my coach, Eric Thomas. The first key takeaway, people forget, paper remembers. What he's talking about is write things down. A lot of times we have all these ideas in our head, all these things we say we want, all these things we say we want to do, but we don't write them down. When you start to write out what it is that you want, like what do you want? Like write that down. What do you want? And here's the thing, when you want something, please don't put limits on it. Take the limits off of God. Do that. I need you to do that immediately. A lot of times it's the lack mentality, it's the lack of, it's for them, but it's not for me. That's the thing that holds us back. Take the limits off the dream. Write down what you want. What do you want? Sky's the limit only because you said it's the limit. I'm just saying that. So people forget, paper remembers. Write it down. Get you a journal. Write down, what is it that I want? What's in the way? What do I need? Start to ask yourself the questions, because questions are the answers. The reason why most people feel stuck is because they haven't asked themselves the right question. What do you want? Who do you need? Don't worry about the how, right? Worry about the who. Who do I need? Right? Who is it that I need to be around? Because sum up the people in your life. You are a sum total of the 5 people that you are around. It is what it is. Birds of a feather do flock together. Okay. Whether you want to believe that or not, it's true. You cannot want to be a 6-figure, 7-figure earner if you consistently find yourself in places that don't talk money, that believe in lack, all they do is complain and drain, you're not going to find yourself in the space you want to be, because you're in a space that's holding you back. Okay. But the very first thing you have to do is start to write that thing down. All right. Next thing, I said it. Number 2, dream bigger. You have to dream with no limits. If I could show you my vision board doesn't have any limits on it. And it's not to say that sometimes I don't get scared. I need people to hear that. It's not to say that it's not fearful, but your dream should scare you. My dream scares the heck out of me, y'all. It really does. It scares me. But here's the one thing that he said that I loved. He talked about abracadabra, right? And that's the magic of believing. You have to believe in you. You have to believe in your dreams, but you have to get around the people so that you don't feel limited in that. Okay. So number 1, people forget, paper remembers. Write things down. Number 2, dream bigger and take the limits off your dream. Number 3, oh man, did this hit me? If you are in unhealthy relationships, you are unhealthy. Man, let me tell you, I don't care if this is unhealthy friendships, unhealthy relationships in your household with your children, unhealthy relationships as in your partner, your spouse, unhealthy business relationships. If you are in unhealthy relationships, you are unhealthy. I need you to write this down. You're unhealthy. All that stress and pressure and the sickness that you're feeling, you're like, oh my God, what's happening to me? Who are you around and who are you talking to? And I'm going to teach you a trick today, because we just had a conversation yesterday. If you are part of Eric Thomas University, there are calls that we have. They're co-ed calls, and it's the men and the women. We come together. That's when we form community. During the week, it's straight accountability. When you see me, you know I want to hear what you're looking to achieve for the quarter, what you're going to do for the week, and what you're going to do for the day. I'm strictly accountability. That's what I'm great at. Okay, moving the needle from A to B. On the weekends, that's where we have the more of the community, when we start to talk about relationships. We have the men's calls, the women's calls. We can talk about all the things that as men and women we go through on a daily basis, and we can work through we talk about different things. So we talked about, sometimes we have people in our lives, whether it's our parents, our siblings, or just friends, who can be very negative. And sometimes people don't know. When you're in an environment that is unhealthy, sometimes you just don't know until you get around other environments and they start talking about different things and you hear different things. You're like, oh man, maybe I'm not in the best environment. Or sometimes you don't even know you're the negative person. I'm going to tell you right now, the truth of the matter, when I realized that I had negative behaviors that I didn't know about, it was from my kids. They were like, look, Mom, you negative. I'm like, what? In my mind, I'm thinking I'm helpful. In their minds, they're like, you negative. You shooting this down. And I didn't understand that. So I had to go do some work on me, to understand, why was it that they're seeing it this way? So I'm thinking corrective action. I'm thinking think through. I'm logical, right? I'm like, boom, 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 steps. I'm thinking that. And they're like, no, I'm dreaming. And I didn't realize that was their process of dreaming. So I had to understand that about myself. So if you want to know something about yourself and you want to know what's true for you, ask your kids. If they ain't not afraid, they'll tell you, okay? Them kids is something else. We'll talk about that on another day. I digress. But and we were having this conversation about, how, if you have those people in your life who say your family members, you don't want to get rid of your mama or your daddy if they're negative. So how can you teach people how to treat you? If you don't have a relationship with those people where you can actually tell them, hey, listen, don't call me gossiping about people, because listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm the type, if you're not calling me about business, don't tell me about nobody else's business, because I don't have time. All right. And that's just my personality. And I would say if you're not able to voice that, you got to teach people how to treat you. So here's a way to do it. You're on the phone with somebody and automatically they're getting ready to start talking about somebody else's business. This is the first thing you want to do. Hey, let me call you back. Hey, I'm gonna call you back. Hey, listen, I gotta go. That's teaching the behavior of, as soon as you started, hey, I need to call you right back. And don't call back. Hey, listen, did you hear? Hey, listen, let me call you right back. Hey, listen, you know what? I need to get off the phone. I got to go do blah, blah, blah. I don't care. So once you start doing it, they will notice the patterns. I actually did that with someone, who shall remain nameless, and it worked. And so now what happens is I start to understand the pattern of, we're not going to have a conversation or a dialogue if I'm starting to talk about or discuss this or other people's business, because she's going to be like, I'm out. So what it did was it changed the dynamic of a relationship, because I changed. And how did I change? I stopped listening to it. I realized it wasn't healthy for me, and it really isn't healthy for them. So I changed. So I got off the phone. That's just that. It's like, hey, let me call you back. Or and I'm not responding to it, and I'm not talking about it. And let me make something very clear. I don't believe that makes you better than anybody else. I don't think that I'm better than anybody else. It's just the fact that in the season and where I'm headed, the dreams that I have for myself, I don't have the time for the distraction of discussing somebody else, especially in a negative situation. Now, if it's something that's going to help somebody, help them grow, help them learn, listen, I'm here for it, but I'm really more of talking to the person directly as opposed to talking about them. And if I said it to somebody else, that means I'm about to say it to you. Okay. That's just my personality. But I'm just saying, so if you run across that where, you love someone and you have a great relationship with them, you don't want to end the relationship, but you want to change the dynamics of the relationship, change you, don't try to change them. Okay. And I'll tell you what that's called: boundaries. You have to teach people how to treat you. And there's a way to do it where you don't have to yell. Because, one person was saying, like, listen, I say it all the time. Well, and here's the thing. Most people don't follow what you say. They follow what you do. Even my kids, they don't care about what I say. They follow what I do, though. So that's the same with most people. If somebody's talking negative or whatever, they're talking about somebody, hey, let me call you back. Unless you decide you want to be a part of it. And here's the thing, I hear people all the time say, I don't want to be rude. Well, here's the thing, what's rude to one person is not rude to the other. And where did you get this whole, nice, I need everybody to like me? At the end of the day, here's the thing, everybody is not going to like you. I know for sure. Listen, I make a video and I'm talking about 30 minutes worth of content, and I'll make a clip about it, because we do clips, and people will look at it and they'll come with a negative comment. Didn't hear the whole thing, but from that snippet, people will always find something. So now that you know that, guess what? Don't worry about kindness or niceness. Worry about boundaries. And here's the thing, values, right? If this doesn't align with your values, then that's what? That's not for you. That doesn't mean you're better than the person. That doesn't mean the person is bad. I'm not here for all of that. It just means that's not for me. Okay? And you can do the same. Start teaching people how to treat you. Stop running around saying, this person did this to me and this person did that, as if you have no say, as if you have no power in the situation. You're not powerless and you're not a victim. I need you to hear me today. You're not powerless and you're not a victim. You absolutely can be the CEO over your life once you make the decision to do so. How do I make the decision? I set my core values, I set my boundaries, and I don't move off of it. That's just that. If we don't align, we don't align. And that's okay. The biggest problem is we don't know that that's okay. If we don't align, we don't align. And the thing is, you don't have to make a person bad in order for you to be good. That's the problem. It's like, oh, this person got to be this or that. No, we just don't align. What's wrong with that? People always got to somebody got to be the villain so they can be the hero. Look, at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you something. If you live long enough, you're going to learn you're going to be the villain and hero in somebody else's story. And sometimes the villain and the hero in yours. A lot of times we walk around and we don't own our own stuff. We don't own our own stink. And we are the villain and the freaking hero in it. A lot of times it's waiting for somebody to come in and save us. So we get to play like, oh, the poor little lamb. Listen, it is the time, particularly if you are in your late 30s, 40s, and 50s, it's time to knock it off. It's time to own your life. It's, oh, this person did this person did that. This person manipulated me. Really? Really? They have that much power? You can't say these are my core values and I'm not, if they don't align, they're not in my life. You can't move that needle at all. You have to sit and you just have to take it, huh? You just have to be manipulated. They have that much power. I'm saying it like this because I need you to think about it. I need you to think about it. Oh, have power. You have absolute power. I need you to come here. You have absolute power. You can say who, what, where, when, and how in your life. Nobody, no one can manipulate you when you understand, what am I talking about? Mindset. And if your mindset isn't there, that means that you need to message me ASAP and you need to get into my mindset reset program. And I ain't trying to sell you something. I'm telling you the truth, because it's all mindset. At the end of the day, I got it. If you want it, come get it. It is what it is. So again, if you are in an unhealthy relationship, you are unhealthy. It's not them, it's you. It's not them, it's you. It's not them, it's you. You're saying, yes, you can do this. You're allowing it. And let me be clear, because we're on the internet. Got to be clear. Let me tell you something about disclaimer. I'm not talking about anybody who's experiencing any sort of sexual trauma, rapes. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm not talking about someone who was a victim to any sort of violence. Let me be very, very clear. Okay. I'm talking about things in terms of everyday life, things that may be occurring with you and another person. You're saying this person is manipulating you or using you. I'm telling you, you have absolute power over your life. You're talking to someone who was molested as a child. I understand that I had no choice in that matter. Then I was victimized, because I will never call myself a victim. Now I am a victor over all circumstances. I have the absolute power to go get the therapy and healing that I needed so that I can sit in front of you and have this dialogue today. So please understand, I will never, ever, ever discredit or downplay any of those traumas. That is not what I'm talking about. I want to be very clear today, because one thing about this internet, they'll take one thing and they will drive it. And it's like, that's not even what I'm talking about. I am not talking about anything violence related. Okay. Just want to be clear on that. And again, we're talking about the takeaways from the UOU summit. So number one, I said, people forget, paper remembers, write it down, dream bigger, take the limits off of God. If you are in an unhealthy relationship, you are unhealthy. The next thing I want to talk about is, what are your non-negotiables? We kind of just touched on that a little bit, and they talked on that about the summit. CJ said, you need 3 non-negotiables before the end of the year. These are the 3 things that no matter what's happening, I don't care about your feelings, right? Performance over feelings. I don't care about how you're thinking today. These are the 3 things you're non-negotiable about. So let me give you an example. It's non-negotiable for me to release an extra 15 pounds before the year's up. It's non-negotiable for me. It's a non-negotiable. My health is non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. Why is my health non-negotiable? Because health is wealth. I realize that I cannot make it into the 7-figure life I desire if I'm not healthy. Because then guess what I'm doing with my money? Spending it all on my health, taking pills and things of that nature. So it's a non-negotiable for me. It's a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. What are your non-negotiables? No matter what's happening, these are the things that I'm going to. My spirituality is a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. My relationship that I'm forming with my God is a non-negotiable. Why? I realize in this life that there's no one coming to save me, but I understand that if I walk with God, I have a savior. Do you understand what I mean? There's nobody coming with a cape. I hate to break it to you. Listen, I remember the first time I realized that I'm telling y'all real talk. I broke down in my office and I cried. My bedroom, and I cried. I was like, yo, nobody's coming. Nobody's coming. Y'all, when you talk about somebody who was balling, because all my life, I'm the girl, I've always been a dreamer. Since I was young, I watched Pretty Woman a million times. Who was the guy that was coming in the limousine with the flowers? It was going to say, I was her. And am I saying to you that your knight in shining armor is not coming? That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that when my God-given, divinely guided partner comes into my life, I am going to be healed, whole, and not looking for him to save me, but to partner. You understand? There's a difference. There's a difference. I realized the saving that I needed was the healing. I had to heal my sexual trauma that happened to me as a child. I had to heal my mommy and daddy wounds. I had to heal the relationship, the untoxic relationship I had with myself. I had to heal the exes. I had to heal the old friendship. I had to heal. No one was coming to clean that up. No one was coming. They wasn't coming to clean up. As a matter of fact, because I didn't clean it up, they was coming to help mess some more stuff up. But that was on me. That was what I was attracting, because I wasn't getting the healing that I needed. So I had to realize, nobody's coming. Nor should I expect them to. Nor should I expect them to. Nobody could have loved that out of me. I had to learn to trust myself and feel safe with me, so that I can walk out in this world and trust what was before me and ensure that I put myself in environments of safety. Because when you don't feel safe with people, 9 times out of 10 is because you don't feel safe with yourself. And so you put yourself in unsafe environments. You don't trust yourself. You don't trust your intuition. You don't trust your gut. So you find yourself in spaces and places around people doing things you have no business, because you don't trust you. It's not that you don't trust other people. It's that you don't trust yourself. You don't trust your discernment. You don't have core values. So you find yourself around people doing things that you don't have no business, because you don't trust you. When you learn to trust you, and you learn to feel safe with you, life is completely different. You don't believe me? Sit with yourself long enough. Ask yourself, do you really trust you? That's why I ain't worried about trusting other people. I trust me. I trust my discernment. I don't care what anybody else told me about somebody. I trust how I feel about them. I trust how I feel around them. I trust it. I trust me. But that took work. It took work. I will never come here in front on y'all. I don't come here and talk about things I haven't always worked through. That's why I haven't even talked to y'all about my youngest son and the fact that that sucker took the initiative and had the nerve to spend the night out and didn't text and call his mom. I ain't worked through it yet, so I can't talk to y'all about it yet, okay? Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. Yeah, I'm off the rails right now, okay? But this whole thing about being the parent, this is the 6. He's the baby of 6, okay? I haven't worked through that, so I'm not gonna come and talk to y'all till I've officially worked that out. I haven't worked that out yet. When I get there, he's not the first kid to have done it. He's just a baby. But see, there was a different mother that raised the oldest versus the youngest. So I'm learning some things in this. All right. So after I've learned and I've walked through it, I'm going to come back here and we're going to talk about it. But one thing I have learned and I've walked through is I took my house from chaotic to peace. I've learned to do that. So if you have a household that is in chaos, if you are screaming and yelling and running around your house and acting a plumb fool because everybody is doing other things, and you want to learn how to take your house from chaotic to calm in 30 days, reach out to me. If you want to learn how to take your house from chaotic to calm in 30 days, reach out to me. That's what I do. Because we're going to take you from chaotic to calm. Okay? So, getting back to these takeaways. Number 1, people forget paper, remember, write it down. Number 2, dream bigger, take the limits off of God. Number 3, if you are in an unhealthy relationship, you are unhealthy. Number 4, what are your non-negotiables? And I think I'm going to end it here because I don't like for these videos to go longer than 30 minutes. So like I said, I had so many nuggets from the UOU Summit with Dr. Eric Thomas, E.T., the hip hop preacher, for those of you who know him by that, the #1 motivational speaker in the world. I literally am going to probably end out the rest of June and probably start July with them. That's how many nuggets I have from there and the things that I've learned. But I want you to give me 3 non-negotiables. What will be the 3 non-negotiables? We're in the middle of the year, y'all. This is June. That we are in the middle. So here's what I want you to do for the middle of June. I want you to listen. Here's your action items. I want you to get a piece of paper and write, am I on track to meet my year-end goal? I said this is where I want to be December 31st, 2023. Am I on track? If I am not on track, why am I not on track? I want you to ask yourself that question. What do I need to get on track? Who do I need to get on track? Okay, I need you to sit and write that down. If I am on track, what are some things, potential things that may come up that may get in my way that I need a system for? What systems do I need to ensure that I make it December 31st, 2023? Okay, if you say you want 6 figures by December 31st, 2023, what do you need to get there? Who do you need to get there? Who is your accountability partner? Your accountability partner cannot be somebody sitting in the same space as you. They need to be somebody who's already achieved what you're going after. They have already been successful in it, and not successful in it because they run their mouth, but successful in it because you have tangible evidence. Okay? So I need you to write that down. What are going to be your non-negotiables to ensure? I need 3. Give me your 3 non-negotiables. What are going to be your 3 non-negotiables to ensure that you meet your goals by the end of the year? I'm going to say this to you, and it's going to sound rude, but I want you to know that I'm saying this in love. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your story. Nobody cares. I had to learn that the hard way, but I'm going to tell you this. Every time I come here, I speak harsh, but I just know I will love to see people win. I love to see people successful, and that's why I come off the way that I do. But I'm going to tell you, in love, no one cares. No one cares that my son was murdered. No one cares that I buried I was pregnant, had my son at 5.5 months and buried him. Nobody cares that I went to a divorce. Nobody cares that I'm a single mom. Nobody cares about the story. They don't. Nobody cares that I was a welfare mother, $322 a month, who worked her behind to get to 6+ figures. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the story. They care about the execution. So if you're ready to execute, if you're ready to take your house to chaos to calm, if you are a 6-figure earner who feels stuck, who feels like something is in the way, you don't know what it is, you need help to get over the hump, you need the accountability. If you are ready to stop this story and get to execution, www.moesass.com. You can book me on my site, info@Moe Sass. You can always email me and we can have a discussion about what it is that you look for. But I'm telling you right now, I am the person when you are ready to put down the story and ready to execute, I got you. But you have to be ready. You have to know that this is your time. You have to be tired. Are you sick and tired of being tired of saying, I want to be in this space by next year, but never achieving it and don't know what's in your way? This is the time. The time is now. We are in the middle of the year. You absolutely can be where you want by the end of the year, but you have to act. Because see, here's one thing that I know about you. Okay. I know that you are the person who always says it, even writes it down, may have some affirmations, talk to multiple people about it, but don't put the action behind it, or don't know the right action to take, or don't have the system behind it to go ahead and keep you moving. You're the person who works every single day on, I got a job, I'm okay, but still have that inkling that there's something else, there's something more that you desire in your life. You just haven't moved on it, don't really know what it is. So you're walking around consuming all this information and not moving the needle. You know what you need? You need a coach. And here's the thing, you are not investing in a coach, you're investing in yourself. And when people learn that, they're going to learn this is what makes people successful. You know something that E.T. said, and I'm going to say it to you in this video. When people go spend money on things that don't make them no money, they don't have a second thought about it. You ever thought about that? When people go out and buy the $250 to $3,000, sometimes $10,000. Hey, listen, I got girlfriends that's doing big things. Okay, they got the $30,000 perks. Okay, the Hermes boy, they have it right. Don't even care going out to Gucci, going out to Louis, and I'm not shaming those things because I have some of them. Here's what I'm saying, though. When you go make that purchase, they don't turn up their nose. They don't second guess it. None of it. But when you tell them that the key to success, the key to getting over the hump is to invest in themselves and get a coach, is, oh, that's not really, that's fake. They just, they just trying to get over me. They trying to use me. They're not really real. It's all of those things. It's very interesting, isn't it? Something that doesn't make you get any closer to your dream. You don't have a second thought of spending your money. But then you have something that could take you to the next level. And you find every excuse in the world not to get there. And then you ask yourself, what's holding me back? I'm gonna need you to go look in your closet, look on your feet, look what you driving, and then ask yourself that question again. You know why I can say that to you? Because that was me. I was that girl. Always like, that's bull. Until I got in the room. I was like, what? This is what they've been doing? They're in the room. Now, listen, I don't care how much. I'm at the point where I don't care how much it costs me. Because I'm in the room. Getting the information. You know what that is? I'm going to college without going to college. That's exactly what those masterminds are. I'm going to college without going to college. But it's interesting. If you are that person who will spend frivolous money on liabilities, but don't consider yourself an asset, so therefore won't invest in you, to invest what could potentially be in your way to get to the next level of the things that you said you want, to take your house from chaos to calm, to take your finances from chaos to calm, because I need to know who's running your checkbook. Is it the 13, 6-year-old you who grew up and didn't have much, so now you feel like I got a little bit of something that I'm going to spend it on this? Who's running you? I need you to ask yourself those questions, because that's very interesting. And most times I'm talking to my people. I love y'all. I love my people. Do you understand me? Ride or die for my people. How do you know that? Because this is me coming here every single Sunday, talking, letting you know. I was the inner city young welfare mom, running around here, child. I still wear my hoop earrings from Jersey, okay? I love my hoops. Don't care what nobody think about it. But I had to learn a lesson. The lesson was, instead of investing in the liabilities of a bag, I had to invest in the asset of me. That's how I go to the next level. That's how you go to the next level. You don't believe me? Go on my website and listen to some of my testimonials of people I'm taking to their next level. Because they're understanding. It's a mindset thing. It's a mindset thing. And that's who's showing up in your house. The 16-year-old you that's ready to rumble with your kids. That's ready to rumble with your husband. Tearing your life apart. That's who's spending the money. Sit with yourself and write it and ask. Doing all the things. Running amok. You ready to take it? You ready to change it? info@moesass.com, www.moesass.com. I hope to hear from you. I hope you have the most amazing Sunday. I will be back. So we could talk about more nuggets, because there's so many, y'all. So many nuggets. And hopefully by then, y'all pray for me. I've had some answer to that son of mine. Oh, Jesus. I love y'all. Have the most amazing Sunday.